So normally if somebody changes one policy, they're out of business, right, Troy? She's changed 15 policies from fracking to everything to that. And nobody believes her. And as soon as, if she ever won, as soon as that would happen, you're going to be a whole different country. You will see things. And I don't even believe she's calling the shots. There are some very bad and vicious people that surround her that call the shots. She's just a vehicle, just like Biden was a vehicle. He has no idea what the hell he's doing. And you saw that. You saw that.
As the 2024 presidential election approaches, the Democratic Party is in disarray. Vice President Kamala Harris, once touted as the party's future, is struggling in her bid for the presidency. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden, sidelined by party leadership, seems hell-bent on sabotaging Harris's campaign at every turn. The tension between Biden and Harris was evident during a recent surprise press briefing by Biden.
I do have a note, and I'm curious what you think about this. We were actually about to go live to Vice President Kamala Harris, who's speaking right now in Detroit, Michigan, and apparently she's talking about this port strike ending. She's trying to appeal to union workers, and yet you have the President of the United States come out clearly overshadowing her, answering significant questions. Is that a communications mistake? Is the left hand not talking to the right hand in this situation?
This wasn't just a scheduling conflict, but a calculated move by Biden to undermine Harris's campaign efforts. During this briefing, Biden made it clear that Harris was deeply involved in all aspects of his administration's policies.
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
This statement presents a significant challenge for Harris's campaign strategy, as she's been trying to position herself as an agent of change. Critics point to Harris's lack of experience and perceived ineffectiveness as vice president.
She's the DEI presidential candidate. She didn't earn it. The news media, the legacy media has propped her up as this perfect person to run for president. They usurped the votes from the Democrat Party and put her in place. Nobody voted for her. Even when she ran the first time legitimately, she had less than 1% ratings, positive ratings while she ran for president the first time. Nobody liked her. She had no policy. Now we see that she talks in word salads. Nobody understands what she's saying.
Harris's poor performance on the campaign trail has been highlighted by her reliance on prepared remarks and difficulty in speaking off the cuff.
So 32 days. 32 days.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it. And this is going to be a very tight race until the very end. This is going to be a very tight race until the very end. We are the underdog, and we know we have some hard work ahead.
This moment of floundering when her teleprompter failed stands in stark contrast to her opponent's ability to speak extemporaneously. Harris's struggles were further highlighted during her response to a natural disaster in Florida, where she attempted to criticize Governor Ron DeSantis.
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
DeSantis fired back, exposing Harris's lack of prior involvement in disaster relief efforts.
My focus has not been on dealing with Kamala Harris. I saw the news report. I didn't know she tried to contact me. But I'd also say it's not about you, Kamala. It's about the people of Florida. She has never called on any of the storms we've had since she's been vice president until apparently now. Why all of a sudden is she trying to parachute in and inject herself when she's never shown any interest in the past? We know it's because of politics. We know it's because of her campaign.
This exchange highlighted Harris's lack of executive experience and her tendency to prioritize political posturing over substantive action. The contrast between Harris's approach and DeSantis's track record in handling crises was stark. As Harris struggles to gain traction, Biden continues to undermine her efforts, even in seemingly innocuous situations.
Kennedy, another interesting layer to this, and you're kind of noticing a theme here. Biden a little perturbed, maybe he's not at the top of the ticket. He posted a picture last night, and the very first sentence says, "Tonight I spoke with Governor DeSantis."
Yes.
While this is all going on between Kamala and DeSantis.
AKA, I am the president.
This ongoing tension reflects deeper divisions within the Democratic Party.
2 days ago, Joe Biden shuffled into the White House press room and made the most powerful case against Kamala Harris, because she's trying to disassociate herself from Crooked Joe Biden. What do you like better, Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe? Depends. When he's sleeping on the beach, I like Sleepy Joe. When he's in the White House, I like Crooked Joe because he's the most crooked president we've ever had. But right now I think Sleepy because they took the presidency away from him. They had a coup. They staged a minor coup, if you haven't heard. But she is trying to disassociate. She doesn't even know who the hell he is anymore.
Harris's attempts to distance herself from the Biden administration's failures are proving futile, as the American people are aware of the disastrous policies she helped implement.
Again, the border, the border. You know, I won in 2016 because of the border. I did a phenomenal job. Is that right, Troy? You were a beneficiary in Texas, and I did such a great job. And then in 2020, when I ran, got more votes and everything. But I wanted to talk about the border. My people said, "Sir, nobody wants to talk about the border anymore. You fixed it." I said, "That's why I want to talk about it." I couldn't talk about it. I said, "I want to talk." People weren't interested in it. But that border in 2016 was nothing compared to what you have today. What you have today is a sick group of people that are letting these really bad, dangerous people into our country. And we're not going to let that. We're going to close that up on day one.
As the 2024 election approaches, Kamala Harris finds herself in an increasingly untenable position. Burdened by the legacy of an unpopular administration, sabotaged by the president she seeks to succeed, and struggling to overcome her own shortcomings, Harris faces an uphill battle. The Democratic Party's succession plan is unraveling, exposing deep rifts and incompetence that may cost them dearly at the polls. It's clear that the American people deserve better leadership than what the Democrats have to offer.